welcome to Sunday Money. And then there were 10 episodes to go. And it's going to be bittersweet because things are heating up. It's going to go so fast, you guys. The playoffs are here. We made it to the playoffs. I'm joined with Lauren
You already
Fox.
forgot our names?
Yeah.
You're that done
Lauren,
with it? Hey.
Lauren Fox.
Hey.
And Corey LaJoy.
Well, he's just been having auditions for his co-host for his next show.
Oh, true.
That's what he's doing. So all those people he's been interviewing, he just forgot our names.
Right.
Now I don't know So we've had a couple weeks of announcements in the Sunday Money camp. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I announced I wasn't coming back to Go Fast Racing.
Mm-hmm.
This past week, Daryl Mott announced he wasn't coming back to Sunday Money.
Right.
How many? I saw that topic went viral, Daryl. How many interviews were you on Claire B. Lang? Just saying your case on to why you will not be.
It's coming
continuing.
To an end.
Yeah, it's coming to an end.
He sat in his kitchen at an oak tabletop, looking out the window, and there he was, with his vitamin C and coffee, when he made the decision to not return. What were you thinking when that happened to you?
That's a pretty good
Claire,
thing.
I can usually do it better. It's a little early in the morning.
Okay, now do it like if you were on Chocolate's show.
What? Now.
Now I got a pretty good. I got a pretty good. Now, Daryl, tell listeners now. Let me tell one time we were at Rockingham. One time Dale went out there for a practice run. And he said, "This thing's just too loose. Just tighten me up here, Kurt." And Dale, he tied me up and he went out there and ran the pole. So that's what we did, Junkyard Dogs.
Here's the thing. It's 3 in the afternoon
See,
right now. And
no, your Moody's not very good. You've got a couple good ones. Moody's not in your repertoire.
Hold on, sir. Hold on.
You sound like Bert and Ernie.
Yep, no, that's what he sounds like when I'm driving down the interstate. No, 60 Minutes did not call, but
that's a shame.
But surprisingly, with all the visceral hate going around this year, people were upset. People were not happy that I said that, but it's not a new story. Corey, admit to the people I tried to quit in January.
No, you did quit. Well, you were moving to New York, so you were gonna quit.
I was out. I was already out.
You were out, but then everybody knew that you can't afford to move to New York City, so I always knew that there was a good chance you were coming back onto the show. And I did beg, borrow, and plead to get you back on the show for another 38 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking?
We weren't.
Well, a couple weeks ago, I was regretting it. But generally speaking, you're a pretty good co-host.
Oh, thanks. The thing is, we've been fighting a lot, and that's not good for probably anybody. But also, you normally fight. But I had told Corey last December, hey, that was a good first year. That was a good season. You should totally keep Sunday Money going, but you should make it your own now. And he was like, nope, I want to do it the exact same. And I was like, this is a good opportunity to grow it and make it something new. But then we ended up being together. And I'm glad we stayed together for another year, Lauren.
Me too.
It's been fun, but this is not like a new fight. Because some people message me and are like, are you and Corey really fighting? It seems like you're really fighting. I'm like, one, yes, we are.
Last week we were pissed
two,
off at each other.
But two, that's not why. It just is. It's time for him to, fly his wings, Lauren. Don't you think?
Right.
He needs to get out.
I agree.
Well,
move on.
Now, if Corey calls,
we're holding him back, Daryl.
We are holding.
Me and you
No, you're not.
we're holding him back.
You're not. I'm not a lead. I'm not a lead guy. I am a good contributor to a conversation.
Uh-huh.
I am not like Daryl is a good lead guy for a podcast. He can.
Right.
He's a professional.
Daryl's a giver.
At the transitions, he can keep us organized. The whole bit. He gets it. He is a
professional.
professional MC by trade.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we don't want to forget our good partners. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah.
Clutch Coffee.
So good.
Built Bar.
So
all
good.
of them.
Hercules
Schluter.
Tires. All
Hercules
of them.
Tire. Yeah. Hercules Tires isn't even on the background. We need to put those
they're
down.
behind your
Oh,
shoulder.
okay. Yeah, they're over here.
Yeah.
Hercules Tires.
Well, first of all, you talk more than any non-lead I've ever met. But
That's fair.
Lauren, I got new tires.
You did?
Yes, and since I'm not Corey LaJoy and I can't get a free mattress and I can't get a free television, and Hercules didn't send me tires,
You had to
I
buy
bought new
them.
tires. Yeah,
Oh.
I went and got new tires, and you know why?
You have to sell
I
off your
had
Yeezys?
no, not yet, but
Not yet.
I had a front tire going low, Corey, and I filled it up with air, and then 2 days later it went low again, and I filled it up with air, and I checked it, and the pressure was 18. Is that low?
Yeah. I would
That's too low.
I would assume that you would probably have something in your tire that is letting the air out into the atmosphere.
You'd be right. And I had, over the last year, I had rope plugged 3 of my 4 tires. So I already knew I had plugs in 3 out of 4. And they say you can run with the rope plugs in them, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy
another
2
set.
tires. Do you buy 2 or do you buy 4?
You buy
Corey
4.
Buy tires.
You buy 4. I buy tires. I actually bought some tires for the Barracuda. We can talk about that later in the show.
Did you get Hercules?
I did not. They're custom tires. They're Nittos. They're like 12 inches wide. They're big ones.
So I asked for Hercules tires, but where I went, they didn't have them, unfortunately.
Sorry, Hercules.
Hercules, my next set of tires. Well, I won't be on the podcast, but if I was and you wanted to send me some, I would put them on my truck. But I got 4 tires, Lauren, and I got to tell you, you better get that pallet business going because tires are expensive.
Expensive. So true.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, Lauren has a side hustle, and she has been selling mattresses out of the back of her condo.
I'm crushing it. I really did crush it with the mattress pallet, guys.
How much you sell?
How do you go about finding a mattress pallet?
There's just a place. I can't give away my sources because I don't want people to be infiltrating my
plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't.
So you buy a mattress pallet?
Yeah, I bought a pallet with 5 mattresses on it.
And you keep one or none of them?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
My parents are taking one.
Okay.
And then I sold the other 3. And
profit.
we're rich now.
That's what's up.
How did you decide which one you wanted to keep?
I picked the best one, and I kept the best one.
Of course.
That a girl.
Yep.
That a girl. Well,
only the best for me.
That is capitalism at its finest.
That's right.
It is. It's been an interesting week. We have finally made it to the playoffs, but I was looking at the year we've had, and it looks like we're going to have the same people in the championship minus Kyle Busch, but most likely he will find a way to squeak his little tail in there. So do you think we're going to have the same 4 again, Corey?
Well, Denny and Harvick are about a lock, and barring any wrecks or mechanical failures in the last 3 races leading up to Phoenix. I don't think it's coincidence that the same guys are racing for a championship every year. Like, those are the strongest teams, those are the strongest drivers, those are the guys that race for a championship. Now, who are you saying the same for? Denny, Harvick, you said maybe not Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, right? And if not him,
then you could sub in Brad or somebody like that. I mean, the 18, there's no way the 18 car struggles in the playoffs as much as they've been during the regular season. It's not going to happen. I mean, Kyle Busch is going to strap on the shoe with the extra lead in that thing, and he's going to, where do we go? Darlington this weekend. He's a powerhouse there. Where do we go? Bristol. Like, all these, he's won at pretty much every track. So, the 18 car is going to go deep in the playoffs. Whether or not he makes the Final 4, that remains to be seen. Mm-hmm. Don't know. But I am heartbroken. Daryl, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because the drive for 8 is over. It was a long shot to begin with, but Jimmy Johnson will not be in the playoffs for his final year. That's sad to me.
It is.
That's sad. But on the other side, when he goes down to his trophy room and looks up and he turns the lights on and those LED lights are shining down on 7 championship trophies, I don't think he's that sad.
I don't think so.
I think he's upset for his team not being able to race for a championship in his final year, but there is a whole lot of things that Jimmy Johnson can rest his hat on.
Yep.
In NASCAR. 83 wins. He's going to end up I'm going to say he's going to probably win by the end of the year somewhere, somehow. Because right now he has nothing, he's not points racing.
Right.
Jimmy Johnson is going for broke each and every week the last 10 races. So I do think he's going to and Cliff's going to be making some more ballsy calls like he did at Dover, because they have the opportunity to, since they're not points racing, they're not worried about losing points to other guys. You can take 2 tires, you can stay out, you can do some things that you normally wouldn't do. So look for. I keep saying that. I think that's just my heart speaking, not so much my head. But who knows? I don't know.
I mean, my only issue with I have a lot of issues with drivers, Lauren, but one of my issues is that they have a really poor work to life balance. Almost all of them. Hang on.
I don't want to interrupt you, but could you say that that's safe to say for every professional athlete? It's not just drivers.
I don't know. I've known a couple baseball players. I know a couple basketball players. I've known one NFL player, and they seem to I think it's just the schedule. Our schedule leads itself to race.
Yeah.
30 days off, race. Yeah. Baseball players are pretty bad too, but a lot of drivers are. It's just what they. That's why you guys will do it. You're obsessive over this sport, which is what you should do. It's your job. It's your passion. It's nice to see people do their passion. But my thing is, I don't know that we can count Jimmy out yet. I've seen a lot of drivers say they're going to retire. Greg Biffle said he was going to retire. He's going to go catch marlin in Cancun for the rest of his life. He can't stay away from a racetrack.
Yeah, so that's that was big news. He's coming back for a couple of guys are coming back for Darlington. That truck race is going to be kind of packed with some guys. Trevor
Dale
Baines
Jr.
No, well,
Lauren and I did a whole special. I was at the racetrack back when I worked in NASCAR. Lauren, remember when I worked in NASCAR?
I don't know. It was a while ago, but I kind of remember you from that.
So for the kids at home, I used to work at NASCAR, and so I had a camera crew, and then they had Ken's car. And they had Dale Jr.'s car, and it was a big to-do. They're retiring.
Yeah.
We're never going to see them drive again. Oh, thank you for everything you've given to the sport. Both of those showed up next year racing. And I love them both. But I'm just saying, it's hard for a race car driver to walk away. So don't be surprised if Mr. 83 shows up.
But he's not going to be running for a championship again.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, you do know.
How do we know?
You do know.
All you have to do is win one race to get in.
I think
give
him...
No, there's other stipulations. You got to be top 30 in points. So if you that's always, because they don't want a road course ringer to show up like a Kaz Gralla and win somewhere and then qualify for playoffs when he hasn't raced all year. That's the stipulation for top 30 in points.
So you don't think we could see a world where Jimmy goes on a couple ski slopes this winter, a couple mountain bike rides in January, and says, you know what? Actually,
no.
I want my fans.
Here,
there will be no room for him.
Let me just give you guys an update on what I think personally is going to happen in this silly season stuff.
Sit back.
No, this isn't in regards to my seat. This is just what I'm
not
hearing.
Your seat, Jimmy's seat.
Yeah, Jimmy's seat's going to be occupied. Not by Jimmy Johnson's butt, by somebody else's butt.
I say Alex Bowman.
That is what I believe to be correct. They're going to move Alex Bowman to the 48. And I would venture to say that Rick is making a very, very, very hard push on Chevy and his partners to get Kyle Larson signed back off. He has paid his penance. He is, I don't know, mended his brand of sorts, and he is probably the hottest shoe in maybe the world right now, Daryl. The world. I would even put him
Daryl
above.
Is seething right now.
I know. That's why I love bringing it up. And when I put the topics in our text message thread, what was the first one on the list? Kyle Larson. You know why, Daryl? Because he is on a run of a lifetime. I don't, and in my 28 trips around the sun, I have never seen somebody on such a tear as Kyle Larson has been the last 4 months. He is on a damn mission, and I just think it's undeniable that somebody's going to pick him up. And Rick was hot and heavy over him before all the stuff, and why wouldn't you be hot and heavy over him when his on-track stock is high as it's ever been? So those who don't know, Kyle Larson's been having a hell of a year in his sprint car stuff. He's been traveling the country, winning a lot of World of Outlaw sprint car races. Well, he jumps in a really good dirt late model car. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Rumley and Johnny Rumley own the chassis company. It's called Longhorn. He jumps in at a Lucas Oil. This is like the I guess it would be the top level of dirt late model races in the country. He jumps in. The first night he runs third. He might have actually finished sixth. He got in the wall a little bit. The second night he turns around and wins the race, which Daryl might not think so, but that is a big, big deal. That's just two completely different disciplines, and it is very. I can't even begin to tell you how impressive that is that he did that against that level of competition. There's, guys like Scott Bloomquist, Jonathan Davenport. Like, the list goes on. Anybody who is a badass in dirt late models was there. It's not like they were somewhere else cherry picking. He went to the hardest competition and won that race. So that has nothing to do with his NASCAR stuff. That's just an impressive feat altogether. So kudos to Kyle Larson.
Are we saying that he's going to come back to NASCAR, or he's going to come back to NASCAR and win?
He is going to come back to NASCAR and tear it up.
Disagree.
Well, that's your opinion. My opinion is that he is going. I mean, if let's just throw it out there. His two options, and Stuart Haas it looks bleak because Zippy came out yesterday and said that their lineup is either going to stay the same, or I'm hearing possibly some stuff between maybe Chase is in the fold over there, Chase Briscoe. So Stuart Haas is out. The only legitimate option for Kyle Larson to come back is Hendrick. And it makes total sense that pretty much the entire 88 car is funded by Rick's B2B stuff. Mm-hmm. All of his ChevyGoods.com, all of his polishes, all the stuff through his dealerships run all through Rick. Why would you not put Kyle Larson if Chevy signs off on it, which they made a pretty hard stance on him when all that stuff went down. So they would have to backtrack a little bit. But at the end of the day, trophies fix a lot of things. Time heals all things. Trophies certainly are the next best thing to heal a lot of things. Kyle Larson is coming back next year. There's no denying it. He's a badass race car driver, contrary to what Daryl might think. He's going to come back. And if Daryl, all right, let me ask you this.
I'll tell you one thing, Corey.
Hang on.
You can actually pass cars in late models.
I don't know.
Races, you can wheel the car around and pass people. That is what he's good at.
Yeah.
In our sport, you have to be patient and you have to wait 3 hours sometimes
Daryl,
for a big pass.
Hang on.
That's what he's bad at.
I just want to if you have a driver lineup with Alex Bowman, mm-hmm. William Byron, Chase Elliott, and you add Kyle Larson to that stable, who's the best driver in camp over there?
Out of those, Chase Elliott. Are you talking about in NASCAR? Again, you have to specify.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in general.
Cup driver.
You can't be the best. You can't be one of the greatest. You can't be one of the greatest sprint car drivers, and now apparently one of the greatest dirt late model drivers in his second race ever. And then that does not trickle over into your NASCAR career. Like maybe he just needed a reset to learn. I don't know, just to maybe he needed a little juju ramp up. Like now he's focused. Now he's found his purpose in life is to be
you're telling me that
just
you
a guy that tears
Kyle
it up.
Larson is a better Cup driver than Chase Elliott. Is that what you were saying here on your podcast?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Lauren.
Yes.
Lauren and I are traditionally not huge Chase supporters, only because he is not media friendly sometimes, but he's a fantastic race car driver. He has definitely shown the world that he belongs there and is not just another son of a legend. True or false, Lauren?
That's true.
I think Kyle Larson is a better race car driver.
Thank you.
I don't necessarily think he's a better NASCAR driver based on his past performance. But I also think that if he were in
Hendrick equipment,
I think that we would probably see a little bit of an improvement.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is an interesting query. But here's the thing: what are they going to do? Are they going to come out and go, "Kyle Larson has completed the sensitivity training, and we feel confident that he has learned from his mistakes. So we
Yeah.
are putting him in the car. And then what? He gets on his little iRacing in December over break again and says
It's
something else.
not
I
gonna.
don't
It's
think that
not
would
gonna
happen
happen.
again.
And that penalty did not, my opinion, did not
Here we go.
suit the crime. That's just my opinion. People make mistakes. A little bit of grace goes a long way, but there's none of that because it's just a cancel culture mob. So Chase Elliott has won 8 Cup races. Kyle Larson's won 6 Cup races, and he has not been driving for Hendrick Motorsports.
That's interesting.
He's won 6 Cup races?
Yeah.
Where?
Hard to remember how, Lauren.
He's won pretty much every road
Michigan's.
course race we've been to the last 3 years.
Those ones that Corey says you don't have to practice for because they're, we only go a couple times a year.
I didn't say we have to practice for it.
Oh,
Corey,
God. This is why the show's ending.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We're not, Lauren, I'm being so pleasant now.
You are. You are. You've been pleasant.
I'm not even fighting with him. I'm biting my tongue on everything.
Good.
Aren't you proud of me?
Very.
Corey, here's a fun hypothetical.
Okay.
We bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
He's over there.
Yep.
Now, because you have shown the world that we can have a political car, old Trump gets reelected and wants to sponsor a car at Hendrick, and the only one available is Kyle Larson. Does that do more to hurt his reputation or less to hurt his reputation?
I can promise you it's not helping his reputation because I've been a part of that.
Daryl, what are you insinuating about Donald Trump?
I'm just curious if we're gonna see, because I just saw Lauren on Twitter this weekend that I thought it was over. I thought for sure people are over this. People are still hammering Corey every week about this sponsorship, as if he sat in the Oval Office and said, "Hey Donnie, I got a deal.
Can you give me some money?
Yeah, I got a deal for you."
Some money.
Well, people are very passionate one way or the other about it. The people who want to say a certain thing are either way for it or way against it. Generally speaking, with the fans at the racetrack, those guys tend to like it. The people on Twitter who
live in their mom's basement
and have interesting Twitter bios and anonymous pictures, those are the people that want to troll and say something about it. So,
but there's people that have said, I loved you, Corey, but now I don't want to be your fan anymore. You lost
fine.
Me. And I'm
if those people don't care to understand how this all works, and they also could look back on the last 10 years or the last 2 years of this podcast and listen, or my social media and kind of know where my values are. People who get mad at me for it, see you later. I don't care. I'm doing my job. It's not my job to
love that.
Appease the Twitter mob.
I want to go on record and say nothing would make me happier, actually, that I think about it now that we talked about it, than seeing Kyle Larson get another chance, because I think people deserve second chances. I think
1,000% agree. And nobody, in my opinion, nobody deserves it more than him, because he is, is he doing community outreach necessarily? No, but
I think he has gone off and done some things that haven't been publicized.
Yeah, maybe so. And I told him as soon as the thing went down, man, lean into what lean into the people who support you. And I told him, I said, one day they're gonna do a 30 for 30 on it. It's gonna, his resurgence, he's right in the middle of it. You're watching it happen. Just follow it. Just follow his journey. He's going to come back. He's going to win Cup races. And then they're going to make a badass documentary on the rise and fall and the rise again of Kyle Larson. And it's going to be an awesome story to watch. Because, we all three here know him. He is a great guy. He made a mistake. He owned the mistake. And now he's on the pathway back. And there's no denying his gift behind the wheel of a race car. And I do think now that he's kind of refocused and recentered a little bit, once he gets with a different team, I think it'll be like a breath of fresh air in the Cup Series, and he's gonna contend for championships. And that's just the way it is. Daryl, we'll make a wager.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with it. I think you're right. I think it would be great. Him at Hendrick. I mean, I guess that would make sense personality wise too. Like that is where you go if you want to keep it mellow and just kind of do your job and keep your
Want to be a
shirt
winning
buttoned
race car
up.
driver?
You want to be a winning race car driver. You want to, yeah, maybe that's a good place to go. And he'll have some good mentors and some good friends to play, sports with. He'll have a nice little crew over there of grown-ups, right? Those are young men that are responsible.
Yeah.
Look at nothing controversial over
Responsible?
there.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-through coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom-flavored infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. You can also order our signature Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com or visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
Speaking of, I mean, we gotta give
Willie B.
we gotta give the maple syrup pancake candle lighter some credit this week. He sacked
done
up
did it.
and he done did it. I mean, Chad just verbally abused him on Saturday at Dover, and maybe you know what? Everybody
that's
was
what he
kind of
needed.
mad. Everybody's a little bit sensitive anymore. You can't say any particular words. You can't be mean or pointed to anybody. Maybe that's what William Byron needed. He
Maybe.
needed somebody to just light that pancake candle fire under his ass, and he got it done. Oh,
He
Willie
did.
B, congratulations,
Good job.
Slick Willie.
What does the first Cup win do for a driver's confidence, Corey? Oh wait, never mind.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
have-
I don't.
you
Yeah, I
have
don't
one.
know. I wouldn't know. I would imagine it probably feels pretty good. And then when the old bonus check goes into the bank account, I'm sure that's really what perks you up a little bit more than anything else.
You don't know about confidence, but what does it do for job security?
I think generally speaking that prolongs your career by about 4 to 5 years. I mean, you could point
Yeah.
at some guys that only won 1 or 2 speedway races, and one of them's coming back this weekend to drive a truck. Like, you can point at some of those guys that had 8-10 year careers and ran mediocre compared to their teammates or compared to the competition because they could lean back on a super speedway win. So, I think for job security, William Byron did himself in for at least a couple more years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in William Byron's case, though, isn't similar to some of the others. William Byron won. He should have won a Truck Series championship. He blew up at Phoenix, so he didn't make the Final Four, which he probably would have won. He ended up winning at Homestead, so he would have won the truck. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. He would have won the truck championship that year at KBM. He turned around the next year, won the Xfinity Series championship in 2017. So it's his situation. Like, he is won in every single level, quite dominating. The Cup Series is obviously quite a bit harder, so it's taken him a couple years to figure that out. But he's won now, and I think that once you break through that barrier, he's got a little bit of confidence. He knows how to get there. He knows, hey, I can do this. I think he's gonna win some more. I look to him for having a little bit more of a breakout season than he had been, but maybe next year is it, or maybe even makes a run in the playoffs if Hendrick can hit on something.
I think we will see him win at least 2 more races before the season's done.
Whoa, that's a
Wow.
hot take. That's a hot take. Where?
I think that he has been surrounded by winners, right? His whole career now,
Yeah.
but especially in Cup.
Mhm.
Think about his peers. Think about the people he's around. Think about who his crew chief is.
Mhm.
His confidence had to have been a little shaky.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if I can't get a win with
Yeah.
Chad Knaus, what
Yeah.
am I doing here? Maybe I don't have it. But now that he knows he does, I think you're going to see this kid come out of the chute, and he's going to just tear it up. You're going to see 2 more wins out of him, I bet, Corey. And I think one will be, I don't know. I don't like predicting the tracks, but I just think you're going to see his confidence come to life. And even this next race, you're going to just be like, whoa, okay, he's for real.
He does run good. He was running good at Darlington earlier this year when we got back right after the pandemic. He got into the wall a little bit. So Chad's obviously got a good setup for Darlington. William Byron gets around there well. So, yeah, I mean, this weekend could be strong for him. Hendrick had strong cars with the 88 running strong, the 48 running strong. So, yeah, I mean, Do I think he's going to win 2 more races in the playoffs? Like with everybody else ramping it up, with Kevin Harvick turning up the heat, with Denny Hamlin turning up the heat. Those guys have been on 97% the last 6 or 8 races, not pulling out all the tricks. Right now, all the tricks come out. Now you get a little bit more skew. Now your body starts bending a little bit more. Now you're trying to slide a couple more things through tech. The reins were pulled a little bit tight for the last couple weeks. Now there's no holding back. That 4 car, those Gibbs cars, those Penske cars are going to be getting it all. I think personally, I don't know if Hendrick was holding anything back, any tricks leading into the playoffs. So we'll see how that materializes.
All right, well, let's take a commercial break, and then we'll come back. We got some more fun things to get to, including Ryan Newman, very upset with Mr. Tyler Reddick. And, of course, we have Harvick as our regular series champion. That's pretty cool, right? Does that count?
Yeah, it counts. They give you a trophy for it. They give you a trophy. It gets a big-ass trophy and 15 points.
As always, we'll find out what has Lauren been eating. We'll come back after the break.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
And we're back. We're back again. And hopefully you guys are enjoying our episode. We have 10 to go. 10 to go, Lauren. And, it's exciting.
I know.
It's exciting.
It's
so exciting.
Savor it.
That it's into.
Savor it.
Corey,
yeah.
Are you looking forward to your off season, or are you just focused on the dream right now of finishing stacking your pennies all the way till Christmas?
There's still a lot of work to be done in the season. There's still almost 3 months of racing left, and I'm still racing for a job of sorts. So, I can't really take it easy or look forward if I don't know what my next year holds.
I feel like every week's an audition for you.
Well, every week's been an audition for me for the past 3 years because I've always been on 1-year deals. So it's nothing new to be in the position I'm at. That's why I'm not that particularly worried about it. Because I've got more partners behind me than I've ever had, and I've got more experience, and I feel like I bring a lot of value to a team. So I've already said that on the show. But back to Daytona. The first big one of the day was caused by a pretty slick block pulled by Tyler Reddick. He drove to the bottom of Kyle Busch, leading the top line, slid up just a little bit too high, got into the wall, and Ryan Newman was one of the cars that it took out. Obviously, Ryan was looking for big things after the Daytona 500 incident, so luckily that incident turned out a little bit better for him, but he got to the infield care center, and he had some pointed comments about Tyler Reddick, which I'll give you my opinion on that block after you hear the comment.
Like you can win a couple Xfinity championships and still stick your head where the sun don't shine. I feel.
Oh, stick your head where the sun don't shine. Now, I'm not going to hammer Tyler Reddick. He made a little bit of a mistake, and he actually owned it on Twitter. So, it's just been a year full of mistakes. Made another one. Unfortunately, it bent up some cars in the process. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was going for it.
Even his care center interview, he said the same thing, and I think that's how old is he?
He's my age, 26, 7.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought he was way younger than that. But I feel like he owns up to it, I think, every time that he gets into something.
No. Tyler Reddick is awesome. Yeah. And what happened there, I think it was a combination of 2 things. I think he was looking, he had an eye in his mirror to make sure that he was clear, that he was in between, ooh, do I give it to him or do I slide him in front of him? And in that process, with cutting it as tight as he did right there in front of the 18, it took the air off his spoiler, got loose, and got into the wall. So he was about 6 inches away from making a really cool, really slick move. Unfortunately, didn't quite pull it off, but he's going to learn from it. And like for him to be up there racing for the lead against those guys is pretty neat. And he made a mistake. Ryan Newman was not too happy about it, obviously, but there was a couple other incidents. Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano got together. Then Joey got into the 43 and cut down a tire lead, and then that piled up a whole bunch of them.
Oops.
And then I thought I was in decent shape down the backstretch, white flag. I was probably running, I don't know, 8th-ish or so. We were looking for another top 10, and the 95 and I got together, and then I ended up knocking the wall down. Actually, the wall was still standing. The car was not so much in good shape, though. So
You broke it?
I broke it. It hurt. I mean, it was a pretty big lick, driver's side. And the car didn't quite make the finish line. We were about 200 yards short. So I just walked head down. Pride bruised.
I get that the cars are a lot safer, Corey, but do you worry about concussions at all? Is that something that like you I know they have concussion protocol, but like do you think about it? Do you worry about it? Do you get them? How's that work?
Well, they do that some sort of test. I forgot what it's called on the iPad, and you read the numbers and they're spaced out a certain way. Like that's their kind of their baseline test to make sure you didn't ring your bell too hard. I mean, you're a little bit foggy. I mean, regardless if you get a concussion or not, you're a little bit foggy because your body's sore and your brain rattles around in your head because you just smashed the wall at 160 miles an hour. Doesn't feel particularly good. So, luckily the cars are safer, the seats are safer, the helmets are better, head and neck restraints work as they should. Do you necessarily, do you get in the car or do you worry about, oh man, do I have a concussion? No. Some people might have previous concussions or they struggle with that in the past, such as, Dale Jr. or somebody like that, who anytime he rings it, he's more susceptible to a concussion. Knock on wood, luckily I've only had a couple a long time ago, so I haven't had one lately, so I'm not particularly worried about it.
LaJoys are hard-headed by nature.
Yeah, I mean when your skull is 3 inches thick, it's your brain doesn't have a whole lot of room to wiggle around in there anyways.
How are the berry and twigs? We know from your past wrecks that is always an issue.
The berries and twigs are okay. Being that I hit left side, it wasn't a frontal, so all the energy was going to the left as opposed to straight forward. So we were intact. We're all good. Thanks for wondering.
For checking.
Yeah.
Can you use that as an excuse during the week with like when Kelly's like, go check on the baby? Can you be like, I wrecked, my left side hurts.
No, she was especially on Sunday, or even Saturday night when I got home, like she got up Levi a couple times. He got up and she knew I was tired and a little bit tender, so she was a trooper when I got back. You're definitely down a couple cylinders after a big wreck like that for sure. It does not feel particularly good.
It's a crazy times out there, man. Well,
we're looking forward to Darlington this week, throwback race.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be running a throwback scheme. It's one of my favorite races of the year.
Shame.
We're keeping the same scheme as we've had been with Trump. They just want to stick with their normal paint scheme as opposed to a throwback.
You
there are
have
some
done
cool
like a
ones.
good 1980s Donald, like a Trump International.
Like a gold one,
Yes.
like a Trump hotel.
You could probably do something so good with that.
I was not involved in that process.
Shame. Boring. Oh, I'll put on a wig or something.
No. But there's some cool ones. Which one's your favorite throwback? Don't grab the low hanging fruit with Jimmy Johnson's. It's pretty cool though with the Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt MASH scheme. That was pretty creative.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones.
Because the theme this year for the throwback race is NASCAR champion. That was the theme. So there's some good ones. There was a Elliott Sadler, the Kyle Busch's is Elliott Sadler, Robert Yates Racing M&M scheme. That one looks pretty cool. That was one of my all-time favorite cars. 38. That was one of the most notorious M&M schemes of all time.
I was trying to see if I could pull up some of the throwback schemes.
I think that it was a pretty cool idea that what Hendrick did, doing all the other 3 cars a Jimmy Johnson scheme of sorts, but none of a Jimmy Johnson scheme doesn't look as good without the 48 on it. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like the 9 doesn't look particularly good. I think it's just nostalgic. That I think for a throwback scheme, you got to have the same number. But all 3 other Hendrick cars look like a Jimmy Johnson throwback scheme, which is a cool nod to Jimmy. Another cool nod to Jimmy this past weekend. I didn't even know this until I looked on social media. Lap 48, they put 48s all down the scoring pylon.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody's supporting Jimmy right now.
That's right. Blowing it out for him.
No opinions on throwback score?
I don't know. I can't remember any of them.
I wish they would do. Whoa. Hold on.
Ugh.
Excuse
You
me.
got the Rona, dog? The Rona?
All better. I wish they would do a NASCAR icon so we could see like Davey Allison paint scheme and like.
I had the Davey Allison paint scheme a couple years ago on the old Dr. Pepper car. That was one of my favorite throwbacks.
I think it would be cool just to see like, a Kawicki or just some of the older ones.
We've had all those, and it's different themes, right? Like, I don't think that there should be a theme. I think there won't be a theme in the future because now we're almost running out of eras. Like with the 70s, we did this 80s, the 90s. Now we're just like made up one with past champions. So eventually it's going to be like, all right, just kind of like whatever scheme you want. My opinion is it's got to be the same number. If I'm 32, like I don't get to choose whatever scheme in the world that I want to. Like I have to whatever Cup Series throwback schemes or Busch Series throwback schemes. That I only have to choose 32 because that's just what like a throwback scheme without the same number
doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
No.
Yeah. So, people take their own creative liberties with it, which I understand, but it's a throwback scheme. It's got to be the same number. It's got to be the same font. It's got to be everything. It's got to be spot on.
We have a new race sponsor. It's the Cookout Southern 500 instead of the Bojangles Southern 500.
I feel like that is humongous news.
Yes.
I feel like that hasn't been talked about enough, Daryl.
Right.
I have news.
What's that?
I've never had Cookout
Oh my gosh.
in my entire life.
That's a shame.
What happens there? I don't understand.
Bro, it's so good.
You just
very
drive
good.
around in a circle and they hand you food.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you order it and then they hand
They have
hand you
2
what you order.
lines.
Yeah,
And
because
they're known for
Because
shakes.
they're efficient.
they're known for you can order about 3 trays worth of stuff and only pay like $7.22. Like their shakes are they have like I don't know,
Like
give or take
99 cent
300 flavors of milkshakes. There's a cheerwine float that I go with
So
all the
good.
time. I get that.
Oh, boy.
That was my go-to in high school. We used to go hang out at the Cookout, and
Yeah.
I would get a cheerwine.
So they just
float.
built one close to actually on the way home to like when I get off the highway, it's right there. After a race, I'll stop in at 1:30 in the morning, get a spicy chicken tray, onion rings, and what else do I get? I've got one of those walking tacos. You know what those are?
Oh yeah, it's in the bag.
Yeah, it's like in a Dorito. Daryl, you ever had one of those?
In a Fritos bag.
It's
No,
in a
I've never.
Fritos or Doritos bag, and they just dump like taco meat, cheese, lettuce.
That sounds good.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
a-
go get one of those.
It's like it's a taco in a Doritos bag with Doritos left in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's I first ordered it, I'm like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, this is like I don't
That
No.
sounds delicious. to me.
it tastes good. So
Sounds like it'll clear you out.
Daryl, you got to go support the new sponsor of Darlington Speedway, Cookout,
Raceway.
Darlington Raceway.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, frick.
I just think what happened was I think that Bojangles just spent all their money on Dale Jr.
Yeah.
and they couldn't afford to sponsor the race anymore because they gave it all to Dale Jr.
It's a shame. And this is like difficult for me because I love Cookout and I love Bojangles.
So which one do you pick?
I mean, now I got to pick Cookout
Yeah,
because they're supporting my people.
yeah. I mean, so what's
Crazy.
your order? So I'm a firm believer of you can tell a lot about somebody by their orders, by their food orders, right? By their coffee orders, by their Chipotle burrito or bowl orders, or their Cookout tray orders.
Right.
What is your Cookout tray order?
I get a cheesy chicken sandwich, and it has like nacho cheese sauce on it, and bacon and grilled chicken smushed between.
Good thing it's grilled,
Two
though.
delicious buns. It's grilled, so
Yeah.
it's healthy in my opinion.
Yeah, good
Right.
call.
Right. And then you get onion rings and hush puppies with it.
Mm.
So good.
What
Maybe
what
I'll
to
go
drink?
today for lunch.
Diet
so
Coke
that I can
all day.
No float.
No, I don't get a float. I can't. It's too much for me.
Oh, yeah, the cheesy sauce puts it over the edge.
They have corn dogs too. Is that right?
Yes.
Dude, they got
They have everything.
everything you could possibly throw in a deep fryer is a cookout. Anything. I mean,
$7.
It's less than
Seriously.
that. A cookout tray is only like $4 and like 23 cents. It's crazy. I mean, like a burger actually might, it might be 80-20 fat, but like it tastes so good, so you don't care.
That's the good stuff.
So I'm interested. I'm actually kind of surprised you haven't been to
There's one right
before.
near your house, Daryl.
I know.
Right where you
Go,
live.
go try it. Go try it. You got to try it once, at least once. For me, it's every week. After
Yeah, we
a
have
race.
cookout at least once a week at our house.
That's
It's like real dinner though, because like Andrew can go and get a burger, I can go and get a chicken sandwich,
Whatever
and
you
it's
want.
like real food. It's not like frozen McDonald's food.
It's real food.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
I mean,
What did you have for dinner last night, Lauren?
Oh,
Take us through it.
Zaxby's. I had a salad though. I'm healthy.
a salad.
Right.
I had a
This
salad.
girl eats out at least 4 nights a week.
I am
At
so
least.
freaking done cooking. I'm so done.
When were you ever cooking?
Like for a little bit during quarantine, I cooked. But I'm done. I'm so over it. Andrew only eats like noodles and sauce, and
What's wrong with that?
Big Mama cannot be eating pasta every night, okay?
But
Lauren.
cheesy grilled chicken sandwiches from Cookout
That's
are okay.
a special occasion.
Lauren, just for me, nobody else cares. But can you please tell me at least 4 meals you've had in the last 7 days at dinner? Come on.
At dinner.
Admit to the world what you do.
I had On the Border twice last week. One time I only ate chips and salsa and cheese dip.
Okay, so that's 2 nights out at Mexican. Keep going.
Yep. Well, actually 3 nights out at Mexican. We ate at the real Mexican restaurant like on Monday, and then we had On the Border on maybe like Thursday, and then I had
A salad.
I had On the Border on Sunday too.
And then a salad.
And then a salad. It
You're just
has
doing it.
actually this past week has been a lot of eating out compared to like
Every
normal.
week.
No,
Every
it's not. No, last week was more so than usual.
Well, listen, you deserve
tired.
it. Work hard.
Thank you.
I wanted to notable mention, by the way, Brennan Poole. Brennan Poole, Corey, did you see where he finished?
No, was he probably
15th.
10? Okay.
Good
Brennan
job,
Poole
Brennan.
finished 15th. That's
That's
a
good.
huge day for him. And I was just looking through the list. Michael McDowell with a 14th.
Yeah.
Nemechek with an 11th. Brendan Gong with an 8th. Brendan Gong with an 8th. That's one thing about super speedway. At Busher with a 9th, it's interesting to see these speedway races play out because all kinds of people end up on all kinds of weird places. But the one I wanted to mention, I just want to give a shout out to Brennan, but also because he listens, but also Bubba with a 5th place finish. And man, he is just in the headlines again. There's still some smoke with that rumor that some kind of athlete is going to be backing him. Do we think it's LeBron? Now that people are saying it's not Denny?
LeBron.
So I found it interesting, right? Because the Adam Stern tweet said that Murstein confirmed that they're talking to a investor group with somebody within the NASCAR community and then somebody in the music industry.
Yeah.
That doesn't put LeBron in there. LeBron's a basketball player.
Well,
Daryl.
Beats recently sponsored Bubba.
So that's a personal service deal.
Mhm.
That's only through Bubba. Only for Bubba. It's not gonna be on the race car.
Okay, I didn't know.
So
if
I don't
maybe it
think
was the same thing.
Dr. Dre is gonna. Hey, that'd be pretty sweet. But also, take it for what it's worth because there's been some things that Andy Murstein has said that haven't panned out either, right?
Oh, okay.
So, take that for kind of face value. But Bubba does have enough sponsorship with him to make the switch to Toyota a legitimate option. I think that Gibbs has enough cars to shift from LFR's affiliation to RPM's affiliation for a year, especially when everybody goes to this next-gen car in 22. So the RPM to Toyota rumor has some validity to me. Validity. When it comes to somebody pumping in some money, that remains to be seen, and I'm not going to speculate. But there's still the the rule that if Denny, I don't know if like it's a minority capacity or whatever, like I don't know if he can own stake in RPM and still drive for a 4-car team. So I don't think, if Toyota's involved with it, it would make sense that Denny would have some sort of hand in it. But I don't know. I'm not going to speculate because I have no clue. Nor do I have any clue about the business side of it when it comes to that.
If you were still in that basketball league, you might have heard it, in between pickup games over there on the lake.
Might have. I don't think so. I think that deal has been played pretty close to the chest, and that's what I also think that's what has made free agency so weird this year in particular, because when we were going to the track for 3-day weekends or even 2-day weekends, when you're practicing and you're always like passing people and you're always like, I mean, it would be nothing for me to go to the bathroom standing next to like Chad Canals. Yo, Chad, like talking to him. What do you guys got going on? Right. Like you can get a pulse, you can pass different people and talk to, team presidents or general managers and get an idea and like say that, hey, this is what I got going on. This is sponsors I got. Hey, this is what we're looking at. You don't get that anymore without a phone call. So it's weird times because it's very formal as opposed to just conversational at the racetrack that you used to be able to get. Everybody used to talk to each other. All the rumors were flying. There's not a whole lot of those anymore beyond just Twitter. And it's and that's dumb enough in itself because it just seems to be like if enough people tweet about something, then it's just going to be true, like any other fake news anymore. Like just because you talk about something and talk about something and talk about something doesn't make it true. It just makes it a rumor that more people believe.
So true.
What are you going to do? I'm excited to find out. When do you think we'll know all this? Who knows, right?
Sooner rather than later, I would say. I think when it comes to RPM switching to Toyota, I think there's some more logistics involved because their shop is on RCR grounds. Like they are in the compound at RCR. They would have to obviously find a different shop because they can't be on grounds of a different manufacturer team. So like they'd have to move shops, they'd have to move all their people, they have to find new people. So they might be in the process of ironing that out. Who knows?
What a day. Lauren, what are you doing the rest of the day?
Gotta work, Daryl.
We got meetings. We gotta let her go, Corey. She's gotta get to some meetings.
Right.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
We gotta do a clutch performer of the week.
William Byron. Duh.
I mean, he goes from lighting pancake maple syrup candles one week to winning at Daytona the next.
Without a doubt.
I'm doing the best I can.
Well, hey, his best was good enough this week. So congrats, William Byron. You are the Clutch Performer of the Week. And it's brought to you by Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. You can order Clutch Coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com, William Byron, to pick up those coffee beans. Have a coffee on me. Congratulations. I don't even know if William Byron's old enough to drink coffee.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think he's old enough. Doesn't need it.
Growth.
He still wakes up vibrant. Not like me.
Huh?
I wake up and I need my Clutch coffee.
Wow.
Clutch Coffee Bar.
Are there any reviews or no? We just end it.
Yeah, there's
tons.
tons.
Bring next week.
There's tons of good ones. Very sad about Daryl leaving.
Thanks, guys. What about O'Reilly?
Yeah, we got to do all of our good sponsors.
Yeah.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yep. Hey, by the way,
somebody said maybe if I leave a 5-star review, Daryl won't abandon me like everyone I've ever loved. That's a good one.
Do you have the read for O'Reilly? Anyone?
Corey does.
Yeah, I would
He's
love.
too busy texting.
I would. I'm actually doing some deals here.
Corey's wheeling.
He's selling mattresses.
No. I'm working on some stuff.
Ooh.
Stay tuned. O'Reilly's. I'm still waiting on them to give me a ring to be on a car. I mean, we got some space for them. O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for their guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Like if you need anything, if you need windshield wipe, a pack of gum, they got it by the register.
Yep.
If they have windshield wiper fluid, like, you know what, Daryl? They've got it there. They got it all. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices, Every day.
Every
like,
day.
You know,
Every
whenever I
single
go,
day.
I was always a culprit. You know what? Like when I needed oil or an oil filter and I was changing the oil in my truck or whatever, I would just like go to the closest auto parts store. I don't do that anymore. I go to O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
I'll drive the extra 4 miles
Mm-hmm.
because their people are that nice.
Yep.
It's like the Chick-fil-A of auto parts stores. That's what O'Reilly's is. You get
They
your
are
stuff.
nice.
They say, I say
My
thank
pleasure.
you. They say my pleasure.
My
See you
pleasure.
again.
Here's your
Pull
windshield
around.
wiper blade.
We'll have your total at the window.
Yeah. So go to O'Reilly's, the Chick-fil-A of auto. That should be their new slogan.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Lauren, do you feel more relaxed this week?
So relaxed. Yes.
We try to keep it calm for you every once in a while.
Thank
That was good.
you.
Let's be pissed off at each other next week, shall
Yeah,
we?
please. I need some excitement in my life.
All right.
No, never again.
Daryl.
This is the positive
Daryl,
podcast.
I
Yeah.
apologize for being a dick to you last week.
Wow.
Wait,
Like
what?
mending fences here.
I apologize for being a dick to you.
Did Kelly make you say that?
No, this comes from the heart.
You were mean to me last week.
I was.
He was. He actually
Do you think it's
was.
because we're like real life brothers that we can really just get into it like that and then move on a week later? We fight like real friends.
We do. I don't fight like that with like people that I don't like, you know? Like, because I was saying some mean stuff. You were saying mean stuff. And then we get on here like, you know what? We both hate each other, but we also both love each other.
Mm-hmm.
I got something in my eye. Hold on.
Real dusty in here. That's from
Corey?
hanging all that drywall.
I appreciate your apology. I too have reflected on the venom that was spewed last week. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we're just going COVID crazy, but for those that don't believe it, we were at each other before we even started the podcast. There was a good 10 minutes
there
of fighting.
There was a tension.
There was actually,
room.
I thought there was like a 98% chance that we were going to not do the podcast. Like, I was about to say, F this.
I don't know. I think it's just the COVID crazy. We're exhausted.
What it is, man.
Set up.
Everybody's wound tight.
That's right.
Nobody. I think it all boils down to lack of community and lack of like face-to-face interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just.
Well, I do apologize too. I was not nice. I apologize for last week.
All right. That's a good place to end it.
And I accept your apology, Corey. Thank you.